Shalom. So I just wanted to let y'all know I stopped sending my kids to school, and this is what happened. I didn't just wake up one morning and say, let's just pull them out. Okay? This wasn't like a rebellion, or this wasn't trend following. Um, this was a good discussion with my husband. It was a discussion with our camp leaders, our guidance, and it was one of the best things that we decided to do for our family. This was like me finally listening. My husband and I were finally listening to what our children were showing us every day. We have five. We have five children. And what happened after we stopped sending them to school, like things just changed. So why we ended up putting them in school to begin with. So before, like, we was homeschooling for a long while. And then we decided to put them into school. A lot of changes was happening, overwhelmed, back-to-back babies, and so we just needed like a little break, a little help, right? So let me start with the truth most parents don't say out loud. Some parents, they don't want to homeschool at first. I always knew I wanted to homeschool. How to balance that with work, with household wifely duties, motherly duties. That is something. I absolutely love schedule, structure. I always knew that because I am certified, so I'm a certified teacher, so I always knew that, hey, if I could teach other people's children, I could teach my own, So I just had to make sure that confidence, because people out there will tell you, oh, it's too much work, or they're supposed to be in school, or it's always supposed to be like this one way. And that's not true. Not true at all. So a lot of parents are in this world, are taught and told to trust the school system and trust the school system only. But I'm also here to tell you, trust yourself. You know your kids. You know how they learn. You are their first teachers. Their parents are their first teachers for the first 4 to 6 years of their life, of your children's life, the most crucial part. So don't believe the naysayers. Don't believe the doubters who are telling you you can't do it. You can. You can do it. Most definitely. And the way the world is going now, and for our people, trusting the oppressor, trusting Esau just to teach our children, that's not the way. We need to get together as a support system. We need to get together and teach our children and to stop believing the lies. Lies that they teach you are that the school under our oppressor, it's safety, it has stability, progress, socialization, it's doing the right thing. No, and for a while you're gonna believe, oh yeah, this is fine, it's fine. It's not. It's really not. Sending our kids to Esau school is not safe. It's not stability. It's not proper socialization. It's not just doing the right thing, like the only option. It's not. So with ours, we sent them, and then so here are things like, it starts small and then it grows bigger. So and one starts shutting down emotionally, and two's confidence drops, and three starts to hate learning. Our Princess N, her curiosity dulled, meltdowns, big regression. And our baby H, he's still so young, but he's already starting to like absorb the stress by watching his siblings. So people will say technically nothing is wrong. There was no phone calls, no suspensions, no dramatic instances, but it was slow damage. And I would never, as a teacher, as a mother, educator, sister, wife, I never want to see any of our children going through any of this and still being like forced and dragged to go to Esau's school. So here's what people don't tell you. Kids don't always fail loudly. Sometimes they fail quietly. So things started to notice. Tears before school. Headaches. No medical cause. Sudden behavioral changes. It's pretty big. Loss of joy. Anxiety over things children shouldn't be anxious about. My kids weren't dumb. They're not lazy. And they weren't behind. They were just, misunderstood through Esau's eyes. They were being taught how to comply, not to think. They were being rushed, compared, labeled. And the worst part, they started to believe these labels. No, we're not about to have Esau label our children and make them feel and think certain things that are just not true. Because we all know our children, Israel, we are brilliant. Our children are brilliant. They are creative. They're above. They are highly, highly above. So when taking them out of school, out of the Esau school, a lot of people, everybody always has comments, things to say. And it's like, oh, they make it feel like you're jumping off a cliff. They're like, what about socialization? What about credentials? What about college? What if you mess them up? Honestly, when I first began, I asked myself those same questions, but I didn't let it, drown me, because it's like, I knew that if we did not pull them out of Esau's school, things would get worse. And that's not what we want for our children. And I don't want to teach our children to ignore that inner voice the same way that I was taught to ignore mine. So we made a decision. We went for counsel, and it wasn't just a rush decision. Stop sending them to school. We definitely noticed a big change. Definitely noticed. So the first month, we had to. It was challenging. We did some deschooling. We did some emotional detox. unlearning fear, rebuilding trust, getting into structure, a little like routines, just reassuring them. And they began to feel more safe and come out of that fearful little shell, that Esau's school had them in. They started to breathe again. And this is like incredible. They started to get more creative. Interest. We followed things that they were interested in and wanted to learn about. M1 asked deeper questions. M2 laughed more. M3 wanted to read on his own. So he's looking up all the different letters, words, and everything. He's like, I can do that. He's sounding out all this stuff. Princess N started to become creative again. The playing, creative play, her drawings, incredible. She's even like sleeping on her own, big girl stuff. She just feels so proud. Baby H, he's calmer. He's not just picking up all the stress from his siblings. He's calmer, he's more secure, more present. And learning stopped feeling like a punishment. So, what actually changed academically? Let me be very clear. My children did not fall behind. They moved forward. Because once learning was personalized, the lessons matched their pace. Their strengths were built instead of weaknesses being shamed. Mistakes became a part of the process, part of the process. And it wasn't something to fear. That's when I realized something powerful. The problem was never my kids. The problem was the system's refusal to adapt. And I didn't just homeschool my children. I built HIspanic Homeschooling Academy because I knew other parents were sitting in silence, feeling the same guilt, fear, and confusion I once felt. HIspanic Homeschooling Academy exists because children deserve to be met where they are. Learning should honor identity, culture, and purpose. Education should build confidence and not crush it. This isn't about escaping school. This is about restoring childhood. So, something I like that definitely surprised everyone, including me. Like, our kids became more articulate, more emotionally regulated, more confident, more curious, more disciplined. They were just where Esau and stuff just wants to give up on our people, give up on our children. They don't even care. Esau truly does not care. They have a hate for our people. But here, our children know that they're loved. For their aunts, their uncles, their parents. Like, they are learning their culture, their identity, who they are. And they are like resting in the security of that. They didn't lose structure. Not at all. They gained some ownership of who they are and what is expected of them. They didn't lose community. They gained connection. So if you're watching this and feeling like that tug in your chest, that quiet voice saying, something isn't right, listen to it. You're not crazy. You're not lazy. You're not failing. You are responding. And whether you homeschool independently or through HIspanic Homeschooling Academy, know this. Your children were never meant to be standardized. They were meant to be seen. So if this story resonated with you, like this video. Share it with a parent who needs to hear it. Subscribe for more real conversations about education, parenting, and freedom. And if you're ready to explore a different path, HIspanic Homeschooling Academy is here. Lawada for listening, and I will definitely see you and connect with you in the chat. Leave a comment in the next video. Shalom.